Hi, today I'm going to show you the so-called tutorial or the blueprint rather of doing the Qigong that I've done I think 2 days ago, if not yesterday. So what was requested was the breakdown of simply what I just did. Like so. And any type of movement that you do really slow is called Qigong. It's mainly a stretching routine and slash mobility drill that you do in order to either warm up your body or cool down your body right after a workout or before you do a workout. It also tests the joints, see how flexible they are. As you can see, it also tests the muscles, checks your body structure, and then it also helps find your balance and fix it as well. Like so. Okay. Now I'm going to do it on a side view here, just to showcase everything that's happening. So to start off, you open your hands like so, like you're actually trying to catch a ball on top. And then you have your palms face down from the top of your head down to your hips. Like so. Now as you do this, your knees are bent. So before when you do this motion, your knees are straight. But as you push your palms down and reaching your palms toward your hips, you're now trying to, or simultaneously bending your knees. It doesn't need to be fully bent. As long as you just slightly bend. Notice how my feet are together. They don't have any space whatsoever. But if you can, have your feet together like this, making sure that there's no gap in between them. Now from here, we start with our right just for our demonstration purposes, but you can actually start with either direction. We start with our right, and so right now, you're actually feeling the weight of your body on your heels. So if I lift my toes, like so, I should actually feel or lift my toes in this manner because all of my weight are on my heels. Okay? Now, you shift your weight to your left. So right now, both of my weight are evenly distributed on my feet. I shift my weight on my left, so you can see I lean here since I put most of my pressure on my left heel, like so. And then I turn right, 45 degrees. By turning my right foot, my right hip, and both of my hands from the center almost move at the same time. And then after I figured or see that I'm already at a 45-degree angle, then that's the time I lower the balls of my foot, of my right foot, like so. From here, you lift both of your hands up. So as you can see, I'm almost like in a straight line with both of my hands while my body is still perfectly in place. And then from here, you extend your, in this case, my left arm, and then I try to stretch my chest. See, it's not just extending my left arm here, I'm trying to extend my chest as I do so. You should feel a deep stretch or a slight stretch of your chest in doing this. And then, lift your foot, your left leg, place both of your hands here in front, and then try to move your foot down and having your left hand, which is at the bottom, go forward at the same time. Like so. So if I do it here in front view, see, notice that I just didn't step or let my foot down using the gravity's help. I tried to control my left foot's descent. Now, the position of your hand, you can either choose to have your left hand palm down, but I'd rather choose it to have my left hand's palm facing front. That way, it helps me actually align the rest of my entire body, especially my feet, to the line of my hand placement. This is a Bagua palm, by the way. And you'll know that you're doing it right when you, in this case my right eye, when I wink my right eye, my left eye should actually just see the back of my hand. And if I wink my left eye and then my right eye is open, I should actually see this portion right here. See? Just to check if your alignment is correct. So I do it side view here. Notice that my elbow is not actually fully stretched. I didn't lock my elbow, but it's not fully retracted either. It's midway. Now in this stance, once you have reached this stance at this point, you should actually feel 60% of your weight on the back leg and somewhat 40 to 45-ish% of your weight on the front. So you'll know that your weight distribution on the legs are right when you actually lift your left leg like this and your right leg is not moving. Okay? Like so. From here, I try to sit with my right leg. So I do like a leaning squat. So I just try to sit back. I lift the back. I lift the left foot up. So I try to point my toes upward to the ceiling or upward to the sky in this case. And by sitting down, so you can see my toes are up and my heel is still on the ground, my left heel. And then I try to sit. And in doing so, I'm actually stretching my left hamstring while putting or transferring majority of my weight to my right. And then I try to reach my left foot. And this is where you adjust with your stretching comfort level. If you can't reach your foot, like so, you just have to actually hold your foot or just hold your shin and then try to put your head down. Like so. You'll know that you're doing this correctly when you feel a very, very solid base on your right leg and that you're not falling down either left or right or even forward. So, you should feel the deep stretch on your hamstring right here, on your left. And then I slowly release my left foot, and then I try to take a step. So I lower my the toes of my left foot again, and then I make this variation of a squat, like so. From here, so I do it here at the front. From here, I scoop with my right hand, like so, like I'm trying to scoop water, and then I scoop with my left. Okay, I scoop with my left first. There you go. Since this is we're actually following the folded leg here at the back. So I scoop my left first, like I'm scooping water, and then I scoop my right. And as I scoop my right, I try to stand. See? Scoop with my left, scoop with my right hand. And as I try to stand, I also slide my right hand on my left hand. And in doing so, my right leg follows, and then I open. The hardest part here in this portion, when you reach this point, is to actually straighten your supporting leg, which is my left in this case. You don't want to actually lazily do this, because what is going to happen is you're actually hurting your left knee, and that's not good. You want to tighten your left buttocks, making your left leg straight. Now the hand position at this point, it really doesn't matter. You can actually have them closed fist, or you can actually have your hands open. But in this case, it's much easier to understand or practice or do it along with me because of the open hands. Now to go back to the original position, your left hand now slides in, since my right hand is outside now, slides in and upward, while at the same time, your right leg goes back to the original position at the back, and then you just lower yourself to this original variation of the squat. Your hand placement might be doing this, or you can just lower it down as what I just did. And then you go back to the stretching of the hamstring. So again, you sit back on your right leg. So notice that my left foot, the toes of my left foot are pointing upward. I feel the stretch on my left hamstring again. Then as I stand up, instead of actually going back to this variation of a squat, I just take a step. I lift using my hips, my upper body, and then I turn this left foot like so, as if I'm pigeon-toed. See, once again, stand up, take a step, and then pigeon-toe. From here, I actually try to scratch my back with my left hand, so I move my left hand under my right arm. So if I do it backwards here, it's supposed to be like this. But depending on your flexibility, you may actually just reach on this side, which is fine, as soon as you can actually touch your back, some portion of your lats. And then from here, see, you slide your right arm, or your left arm rather, on with your right arm, forearm, as you lift up. And then go back to this position right here. And then we lift our right hand, opening back our chest. Then we lift our left foot, bring it back. Make sure that your right hand is on top of your left. And then slowly lower your foot down, and both of your hands down. Move to the side. Now that both of your hands are here downward, follow where your right foot is, supposedly still on a 45-degree angle. And then you lift your hands, lift the right foot, go back to the original position, lower your foot, and lower your hands. You can actually finish it right here by actually doing your hands like this again. But then again, we're actually going to do the left side. So in this case, I'm just going to do the left, and it's going to be just the mirror of the right side that we just discussed. Now the second portion of this Qigong is actually optional and separate, which is the reason why it's not actually very connected to the first one that we just discussed or that we just have learned. But this is also a very good option because it also continues the stretching of your hamstrings, stretching off your lower back as well. And at the same time, it also stretches your shoulder since you're doing this motion and then bring it back. See? So choose wherever side you want to begin with, but in this case, I'm just going to start with my right. Like so, take a step, lift my hand here as if I'm trying to actually reach an apple from an apple tree, and then I try to scoop downward with my left, like so, right here. But instead of just doing that, my leg follows, doing this stance. From here, you should actually feel a stretch on the groin area, on the hamstrings, whatnot. And the good stance of this, you'll know that you've done it correctly when your heel on your weight leg is not lifted. So from here, when I try to stand up, I drill here. See? Like so. I drill, and this right hand follows here on the waist. I should be in this stance right here. And then I just go here. Reach this position. From here, I just mirror what I just did on the right. I try to reach fruit from a tree with my left. My hand coils backward, like so, and then my leg follows. Then when I go back up, drill, my left hand falls again here at the hip. My right hand now has palm face up, and then back to where I started. Now you can do this several times as in your heart's desire, but personally, once you have reached the kind of stretch that you have attained or that is very comfortable to you already, because once you've done this kind of Qigong or this kind of movement pattern, it's actually going to be a little bit difficult because your body will be at first stiff, but the more you do it during the session, the better. And you know that you're actually getting better because after you're done, you're actually going to feel a little springiness on your knees, and that your hamstrings are totally stretched. You don't feel any tightness on your back or on your lower back anymore, and that your shoulders are finally relaxed, that they're actually stretched as well at the back of the shoulders, not just at the front, and that you have already warmed up your hands as well, especially on the wrist side. So we'll just do a few more of this just for you to actually see the continuity of this and the kind of, should I say, rhythm that you can do, especially when you feel that there's some kind of tightness in your legs or in your lower back. can see, you can actually do them continuously, or you can actually pause just to feel the stretch, and then do it slow to test your balance or to strengthen your legs a little bit. And you can end by just doing this motion. So there you have it. That's the Qigong, or one of the many Qigong patterns rather that I do to actually maintain the flexibility of my spine. Yes, the Qigongs that I just presented in this video is geared or more focused towards the spine, the flexibility of the spine. And it's mainly because I practice Bagua, and it just so happened that Bagua focuses on the flexibility and the strength of the spine, because that's where most of the power comes from when it comes to practicing the Bagua martial arts. And it's also directly helps with the footwork as well, and it's a huge part in practicing Bagua, because Bagua is a very mobile martial art where we actually constantly walk and especially change directions and stuff. And you can't do that if you have weak spine, since the spine can only take so much of bending and twisting, especially when it comes to sudden change of directions. And if the lower back gives out, your spine gives out, the legs would also give out, and you won't be able to move. So, yeah, so that's why the Qigong that I just shared with you is geared or more focused towards strengthening and maintaining the flexibility of your back or the spine itself. So yeah, hopefully this video has helped you even in the smallest way possible. If the instructions are a little bit messy, it's because it was not edited, and I want to actually give the instruction as is, so that it'll actually be more fluid and you can actually follow with the said instruction. So again, hopefully this video has helped you even in the smallest way possible. God bless you all. Always train safe and take care.